So thank you for joining today. We are discussing tech jobs without college degree. We're going to do a brief introduction. My name is Temi Akinwumi. I'm CEO of Top Group Technologies. Top Group Technologies is an IT company, and we are located in Lago, Maryland. I've been in tech for over 26 years, and I've had my company now for over 16 years. I'm a tech leader. I'm also an IT trainer, a career mentor, and a coach. Right now, I've mentored over 1,000+ engineers. And you can follow me on my Linktree or under my bio. You see a lot of information about my background. So welcome to Tech and Powerhouse. This is Tech and Powerhouse. We meet here every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and every Sunday at 4 p.m. So if you have any topics you would like us to discuss, we always discuss topics around like cover letter, career empowerment topics like cover letter, interviews, resumes, like how to get started, decoding tech jobs, tech careers, things like that. And we can go deep technically, or we can even discuss hard skills, soft skills, and things like that. So I'm very hands-on in tech. I started off as a software engineer 26 years ago. Then cybersecurity and project management. I've been a tech leader, having my own company for over 16 years now. So my experience is from all these industries, and supported Fortune 500 companies and many intelligence projects that if I tell you, I pretty much have to kill you kind of projects as well. So you are welcome. I'm here to enrich my community and to give back. So you follow my Linktree, you see a lot of resources there. And I also have a project called My IT University. My IT University is going to have a lot of free resources as well. Free training, free manuals, a lot of free stuff to help you get into tech. So look out for that. It's actually going to be out not quite long now. So thank you so much. Please follow the room and follow the moderators and ping others to the room. I will allow my co-moderator, Robert Easy. Welcome. Thank you so much. I will allow them to introduce themselves, then we can get started. Robert, please introduce yourself.
Hello. Hi. Thank you, Temi. Thank you for having me here. And hi, everybody. So I'm Robert. I am a project manager. I've actually got a background in a chemical engineering degree. As a chemical engineer by training, I've got experience in oil and gas, energy, and I guess other areas. But I think my interest and a lot of this is I'm actually in the middle of a career pivot, moving from kind of more traditional chemical engineering background and whatnot to pursuing a tech career. And so I think in my view and my benefit, and hopefully I can kind of guide people or share tips and other things for what I'm seeing right now today that seems to be working well. And I'd be happy to share some of that with people today. So thank you for letting me be here.
Hey Temi, hey everyone, and happy belated birthday. Hope you had a great birthday, Temi. Thanks for hosting this room for people and always giving away free resources. I'm not gonna be able to stay the entire time today, but just want to come and offer whatever advice I can, or just any resources, and also to learn as much as well. Also, and if you're looking for a job, look on the bio and follow Miss Temi and follow the club or follow her club. She does this, and she has many great resources for people for free. So hope you guys are doing well, and I can't wait to be part of this call. Thank you.
Thank you, Eze. I really appreciate you. And yes, I had a great birthday. Thank you so much for all your prayers, wishes, and all that. I really appreciate. And then I want to give a shout out to my students that are here today, El, Ginikashi, and some other ones. So thank you all so much for joining. Most of the time you find me with my mentees here also discussing. So Wumi is here as well. Wumi, make sure you follow the room so you can be up. And thank you, or follow me as well. So many of the students, you'll be seeing them here. So thank you all so much for what you do. And Musa also just came, so I thank you all so much for just popping in like that. So if you also have any additional information, or you want to contribute on Echo, or if you have a question, Raise your hands, please. This is not my room, it's our room. That's what we do. We all work together to empower our community. I don't know it all. You don't know it all as well. We come together to rub minds and to make our community a better place to be. So thank you all for joining. So like I said, today we're going to be discussing about tech jobs without college degree. There's a lot of it's a lot easier than you might think, because most times, like I said, I've trained over 1,000 plus engineer. Most people, they think it's so difficult. They think we can never get into tech. When you hear the word tech, it can make some people just pass out because they think it's so complicated. You have to know calculus, statistics, maths, and a lot of logic and scripting. No, it's not. You don't have to do all of that to get into tech. So today we're going to decode that and see what it entails to get into tech. So it's a lot easier than you think. So there's a lot of a lot of people always think, oh, yes, before I can get into tech, I need to have at least 4-year degree in college to get into tech. Some people will say, oh, I need a technical degree to get into entry level, even like a tech support job. Some might say, I think I need to know Excel and technology job to even get anything. And these are only taught in college. Some might say, oh, the IT hiring manager, they only care about educational and credentials than anything else. It's not true. These are what people made up. It's not true. You don't have to have all this degree like a thermometer or like a thermostat before you can get a job in tech. I've trained a lot of people that are still in college now, that when I train them, that's when they decide to change to tech. They are maybe in another profession, thinking about another profession, and their degree is not even relevant to tech. Some don't even have any college degree at all. They just finished from high school and just working, and they're now in tech. So we're going to look into all of those things because there are a lot of jobs out there that you can easily get into without a college degree. It's not as if college degree is a bad thing. You can always get into college degree. We work around that one and see how we can obtain a free college degree while you're working, because that is the way out. You don't want to have all this student loan. If you can avoid it, if you are not in college already, why don't you put college in the back burner while you do some tech courses, some tech, prep for tech getting, and let the hiring company pay for your college. College is great. It's great to be in college, to have a college degree, but you can work around it and get in, then you get your college degree if you can. So what are the facts? The fact is that you can search tons of lists of IT jobs like web development, like cybersecurity, software engineering, mobile app design, help desk support, and so on and so forth. There are sites like Indeed, like Monster. They list all these job and they will say maybe qualification, high school diploma or GED is required. That's what they will say for this kind of jobs. But what do you need to get in? You need skills. And how do you get those skills? So you get those skills by going to training, boot camps, different kind of trainings. There are different kind of trainings. There are trainings that are one-on-one training, live training. It might be in classrooms. It might be live online. It depends. Some people like that. That's what I provide. I provide live training in cybersecurity, in Scrum Master. You can look under my bio right there, in AWS Cloud, Azure Cloud, Scrum Masters, and so on and so forth. It's one-on-one. And we also have online training under my IT university that you can also go and get this training and take your own time in the comfort of your own home and do all this training program at your pace. But there are also trainings online on Udemy. There are training online on X and all of that. The problem with those trainings is only that you don't have a mentor there. There's no one to really hold your hands and guide you. If you have a question, you're on your own. So that's the problem with that. And if you finish such trainings, you need somebody that will be a reference to you, especially when you don't have any background and you don't have anybody to kind of guide you and to speak regarding your your background. So when you get into the job market, when you're trying to get a job, the recruiting company tends to ask for referral, and they will call those those people that mentor you or refer you or train you to see the experience that you have. So that's the problem with those kind of training, but that can be like a reference point to back up what you are doing in boot camps program, like the one I offer. It's not a sales pitch, but if I don't say it, you don't know. So that's why the only reason why I'm saying that. So, according to, I did some statistics. I did some background investigation, as in I did some research. I check on some websites, I make some calls and stuff like that before I do any of my presentation. I don't just come on Clubhouse to do programs. I spend hours like right now, physically, I have a PowerPoint presentation I'm speaking to you. I don't just come here and talk. So when I'm discussing with you, I have a solid PowerPoint presentation for every topic I discuss. So according to statistics and according to my research, I found out that the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics said about one quarter, 26% of IT workers in the United States do not hold a bachelor degree or higher. And CompTIA said 69% of certified CompTIA A, do not hold 4-year degree in college. So that means that a lot of people that are working in tech start off without a college degree. In 2017, another research shows that job posting on core IT position in the US cites a bachelor degree or higher, they pay up to $83,000 per year. So it does not matter. I've seen students that don't have a degree and they are being paid a lot of money. The lowest my students make per year is 100K. 100K. They make 100K. Some of them will be here shortly. Some of them are here, but some of them will also be here shortly to testify to the fact. If you follow me on my link tree, you see a lot of testimonies. I have pages and pages of testimonies. And even if you follow me on my IT universities, you will see pages and even you see videos already, that because I'm uploading that videos of a lot of testimony of this. So I'm not just making things up. So I will stop right there. I will allow some of my our moderators to chime in, and then we'll go from there, because we're going to have a powerful time today, because I have all this information that we're going to be discussing. But it's not only a one-man show, it's for everybody. So if you're also in the audience, if you have any question about this, please raise your hand. This is your room as well. Feel free, don't be shy, come up and ask your question. Or if you have to echo anything or to add to anything, please come up and let's work together and empower our community. It does not matter if you're a student, it does not matter if you don't have a lot of background, if you just have any question at all. No question is a stupid question. Let's come up and work together and discuss this, So so that's what it is. So thank you so much, Robert or Ezzy. Any contribution?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of echo what you said with an example as well. I remember I met this guy I met, and he was, not very presentable, right? For long story short, I was visiting my sister, and he comes up to me, and he's just like, this is the most ridiculous. Mind you, I'm just taking a walk, right? And he's like, hey, can you, I forgot my ID, and the liquor store and the gas station there won't sell me cigarettes without my ID. Here's $5. Can you get me cigarettes? So he was 18, so I was like, weird, but I don't see why not. It's right there. So I get it. I come out and talk to him for a little bit, and mind you, this guy's like just not presentable at all. Jeans tattered, holes, everything. And we're talking, and he's like, I was like, so like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm a developer, right? And long story short, he just doesn't care about appearance. That's not his thing, and there was other personal issues going on. But long story short, high school dropout, right? High school dropout. But when he was 9, and this is also like an issue that kind of underscores the minority community. When he 9, he was always breaking into, his dad's computer and doing things he was supposed to do. After like the 5th time, his dad was like, okay, his dad got him a Linux computer to play with. Long story short, he's the best. Like he can code. Like he can, his knowledge is off the charts. Mind you, he did not finish high school, right? And he had other issues he was dealing with, drugs and things like that. But that's a personal matter. But long story short is, if you know this stuff, you do not need a degree. And the part that kind of like bothered me the most, was that once I was trying to go into we became friends. I was trying to help him kind of overcome some of his personal struggles, and he would go to like interviews, right? Mind you, I'm just saying, like, if you have the skill, like, because like you said, Miss Temi, there's this, image that you have to be perfect, and getting a call that you have to be perfect or a certain, now don't get me wrong, that's gonna help your candidacy. But if you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. Now he was very highly skilled. He's been doing this since he was 9 years old, right? But he would go to interviews with like not just jeans, loafers, not even flip loafers and t-shirts. And some interviews after the phone screen, they give you a test or something like that. And long story short is this simple. Like Ms. Temi said, if you know your stuff, I'm sure everyone in this room right now would not go to an interview in jeans and a tattered shirt and loafers. You would dress up and presentable. So if he can come on stage, if he can do it, not to belittle him as well, because he's very intelligent, but if he could do it, you guys in this room can too. He didn't finish high school, and that's not to slight anyone who didn't finish high school. Many people are intelligent that didn't finish high school. But the point is this: his dad, at some point, he invested his time in tech. Now, for him, that was at 9, 10, 11 years old, right? But for you guys, some people are in their late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, 30s, 40s. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's never too late. If you can do this stuff, right, and you get with someone like Ms. Temi or myself or a career coach in the tech field, and they can help supplement that experience for projects and, depending on what else, maybe give you some ghost experience, wink, wink. That's provable, obviously. But one way or another, if you know your stuff, you're good. That's what we want to say is take it from my friend's example, who's walking the streets, tattered clothes, looking to bum cigarettes. If he can be in tech, you can too. I'm Ezra and just speaking.
Wow, that's hot, Isaac. That is epic. Thank you so much. That's a great testimony right there. And that's so phenomenal. I wish I can just show you some of my slides so you can see pictures of some of my students that will come to class, 18-year-old, with wrapping scarf on the head, with wearing any kind of thing. This guy got a job in tech. I mean, even if I'm the hiring manager, I probably will not hire him dressing like that. The guy finished class, next day got a job. A lot of examples like that. Tech is hot. They're looking for people. If you are skilled, if you have this skill, you can get a job. Especially if you have a mentor, it even make it better because your mentor will push you, they will help you, they will support you. Things that it will take you like 40 years to do, they'll do it for you in a minute. So that's what it is. It's very important to have a tech and a mentor, and I'm free, I'm able, I'm willing to be one for you for free. Follow me. If you need any help, I'll grant that as well. It's not a problem because I don't want people to go through what I went through when I don't have a mentor for many years. It's only the grace of God that took me so far to what I'm doing so far. I don't want anyone to go through that kind of thing, even though I have IT background and all of that. But without IT background, there's a shortcut to tech, and I'm trying to show you what that is. So thank you so much, Ezzy. That is very great. Thank you. And shout out to all my students, El, Ginikashi, Musa, Richard, everyone on here. I really appreciate you guys. So please ping in other people. You have questions, you have a contribution, please raise your hand and I will bring you up. Thank you all so much. Robert, I think you are next. And then we go to Tutu.
Okay, thank you, Temi. So I guess thanks, Ezzy, for sharing that story, because I think, again, people need to hear those stories and understand and see role models and just understand that, it can always be them. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I take every day when I join the Clubhouse community and I hear people speaking. That's one of the biggest things I take away is if other people can be successful, so can I. And so while I was kind of listening to what you were saying, one thing I did, and actually, if anybody wants to take a look in my bio, I've actually just put I just put a link, or there's an article on from monster.com. It actually talks about the top 10, really top 10 tech jobs that you can get without a degree. And, that didn't surprise me, I guess, as much when I saw, data. So systems analyst, I mean, it is probably pushing about $90,000 for average salary. Cybersecurity, and I know, Temi, you push that a lot. That's almost $100,000, and this is without a degree. So I mean, the thing is, people go to boot camps, and now so it's kind of got my attention too, because I'm looking at this and thinking, wow, project managers, and you think, we have a lot of responsibility and they make a lot of money, but they really don't, compared to what people in tech can do. And I think that's, this is starting salaries, right? Or, for some people now. So I think, we're just kind of looking at it, and it says right there, without a college degree, no diploma, not an issue. It's the demand, and that's what seems to be driving it. And they kind of all out. The other thing too, just looking here in Houston, I'm seeing, the other thing that caught my attention was, data scientists, because I see that, I think that's a little bit more involved. But, my thing was, if someone can get a job as a systems analyst or cybersecurity, and then again, start working on and start, if they want to go to school and do that at the same time, to me, it would seem to make sense to see as a, data scientist or another job like that as sort of the next stepping stone. But it really, to me, it just, what kind of blows me away is that it's such a big opportunity, and especially for someone even coming out of high school, to be able to make that kind of money and do really well for themselves. So again, if you want to take a look, that link is in my bio, so you can just get an idea of what's in there. It lists a couple of different jobs. Actually, it says the top 10, but I just wanted to share that with everybody. And I'm Robert, and I'm done speaking.
Yeah, wow. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for doing that research. Yeah, it's very great. If you even if you Google it, top 10 tech jobs without college degree, you will find tons of them. There are some on Monster, there are some on Indeed, and so on and so forth, like I mentioned earlier. There are a couple of things that there's a couple of rooms I appear this week, and we discover about mindset and skill set. If you have a positive mindset and your mind, you know that you can do it and it's possible, the skill set is secondary, because when you have a positive mindset, that is a strength. That's a strength that drives you to get a skill set. But you have to understand that they both work together. If you have a great skill set without a great mindset, there's a problem. So the great mindset with a great skill set is success at every point in time. So I'll just encourage you to have a positive mindset, even though you don't have college degree. Don't be scared and don't be afraid to venture out and get yourself started in tech. So today we're going to be decoding some of the tech jobs, and we'll be discussing what are the things that you need for them, like things like web app developer and so on and so forth. But before I start getting into that, because I'm very technical, I'll get into that, and so that I'll be able to advise you what to do with them and how to get started on those areas. But before I go into that, it's not that you shouldn't get a college degree, but if you can get in, as soon as you get in, like I said earlier, then your company that hired you, whoever company that hired you, they always have incentives for their employee. So when the employer hire you, then they'll give you, maybe they have some set aside for education, so they can pay for your college degree. Like I have two masters. I have a master in software engineering, and I also have a master in cybersecurity. When I entered with bachelor's in computer science. So my company that I was working for at that time, they pay for my two masters. Right now, I'm working on my PhD. So what am I saying is that as soon as we get in, the company can easily pay for that. But don't stop. Don't stop just with your maybe college, high school diploma, because if you're trying to um, in your career, if you try to become like a manager, a managerian, you're a high managerial post, you will need to differentiate yourself. Like, why do you need that? Because you need to be exposed. When you have a college degree, they teach you tons of things in college that is not even relevant to your field. But those things also are needed in your career, because it's an exposure that you need in your career as you get started in the career. So it's always great to have college degree, but you can do that in the expense of the company that employ you. So as soon as you get in, don't even wait. You might have to go to the, some people go to the military to be able to get college degree. There are ways to work around it. The military can pay for it. Your college, your employer can pay for it. Make somebody pay for it. It's possible. I mean, they have the money to help you. Why not? Work around it, develop a timeline, a pipeline, how you want to there's something I call mapping your career. I will also discuss that one of these days. You can map your career in such a way that your employer will pay for it. Your military that you are in, some people are even in military right now, they don't even know what to do with that because you don't have a plan, you don't have a goal, you don't have an objective. What do you want to do with your career? But if you start putting everything in perspective, putting everything in pipeline, okay, first of all, right now I know I have GED, I want to move forward, I don't want to have student loan, but I'll take these boot camps. Like I have a boot camp coming up on May 8th for cybersecurity, one of the hottest ones. If you take a boot camp program and then you get a job, after you get a job, then you get in, immediately start planning towards how do I navigate? How do I tell my manager I want to go to college and apply and make them pay for it? Don't even waste time. So let me tell you something. If you are in any job right now and your employer can pay for your college, just do it. Just do it. Don't even wait another minute. Just go ahead and just do it because you never know. You can do 1 year and leave them, but at least another employer can take over. Can take over from there. Just start something. Don't wait. Don't sit down. If you're already working, provided you're not paying for it, somebody's paying for it. Let them do it. Let them pay for it, and then you enjoy the benefit of that company because they have the money for it. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to put that there. I just want to say that there. So get in, then start your college degree, even if it's masters. Don't if you are in, tech, they already have your bachelor's, they pay for it. Great. Now that they pay for bachelor's, what else? Let them also pay for your masters. They have the money. Come on, every year use it. Just continue to study, get certified, more certification, more college degree. Because by the time you leave that company, you might, easily you can make 50,000, 80,000 more if you will really, develop your skills and your educational, credentials in that organization that you are in right now. So think about that. I will stop right there before we get into looking into the different areas and the different, you know, um, programs and what you need for them. I will let Tutu say something. Tutu, you are welcome. Is Tutu there? Okay. Maybe she's not there yet.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, Tutu. You want to introduce yourself and chime in. We are discussing about tech jobs without college degree. You can tell them about your experience, and you are very good with this. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tutu, and I am a information security, cybersecurity subject matter expert. I've worked with defense contractors and Department of Health and Human Services and DoD as well. So I'm also a mentee under Miss Temi. She's been mentoring me for over 5 years now, and and I'm even currently right now taking her Azure Data SQL class right now. I've taken her CAP class, her Security Plus certification class, and she's just been really great. And I would encourage everyone to follow her and take a screenshot and contact her and are enrolled in her course too. Professor Temi will guide you and mentor you and teach you how to navigate your way into tech, into the tech and software field. So the topic, tech jobs without college degree. For me, I'm in a little bit of, I'm in between. If you have been working like a help desk support, have a lot of years under your belt, you've been coding, you've been doing projects in school, whatever you've been doing, if you've been working like, IT specialists or something, and you don't have a college degree, yes, you can definitely break into the tech field without a degree, right? Because you're already working for a tech or software company. So you're already doing the technical support, help desk support you're already doing that in the field anyway, specializing in a field, right? However, sometimes certifications will help navigate better, right? You definitely need a mentor. For me, if you already have a bachelor's degree, you don't need to get another degree in the tech, right? Because you already have a bachelor's degree. You just need to take the certification class. A lot of these companies don't even ask for your degree, right? Now, I have had jobs where I have been denied because I didn't have a degree in tech, probably, like, information technology. I didn't have a degree in computer science. So certainly it's possible. But the thing with technology now is, especially cybersecurity is getting very, very competitive. And because it's getting competitive, the more you need.
Okay, Tutu, we can't hear you anymore. What Tutu is trying to say there, she's trying to come back, is that there are some companies, right? Like some companies that are really deep into their IT companies. Company like Computer Science Corporation, all they do all day, they are like an IT shop. They don't play. They are very deep. That was the one of the first company I worked for. I worked for Computer Science Corporation. I worked for Northrop Grumman. I worked for Agility Task. I worked for SAIC, and so on and so forth. So some companies are very, very detailed. If you don't have IT background, they don't want you. I mean, if you don't have IT degree, they will kind of shy away from employing you because they are hands-on. But there's so many other companies, they don't care about that. So you have to search for that. There's a lot of companies that don't care for your IT degree or any kind of degree. These days things are changing, you understand? So, but what to do is try to do is some company may tell you, oh, you don't have, like computer science degree. But these days, you don't have to have a computer science degree. It can be any kind of degree. It can be healthcare. It can be any kind. Criminal justice. I've seen a lot of students. All my students, maybe 1% of them, only 1% has computer science degree. The other 99% don't have any computer science related degree at all, or don't even, some like 50% don't even have any college degree. And some of them are still in college. So some people believe if I'm already in college now, I can't get a job. It's a lie. If you're in college right now, you have not even finished. You can get a job in tech, a good job. And if you are even in college for non-related technical, maybe you're not sure what you want to do in college and you are doing something like English major. I'm not saying English major is bad, or any other thing that's not even relevant at all, music, whatever, arts. You can decide to pivot into tech and change your career and change whatever you are doing in college to reflect tech. I've seen people that I met, maybe they are just 2 years in college or a year in college. And when I discussed with them about cybersecurity and they saw the opportunity, the lady, some of them decided, oh, okay, I decided to change cybersecurity and I will take your class. And then she took the class, she got a job. And then she changed to cybersecurity because of that. And now she's still in college, but she's been working with 100K plus per year. So all these things are possible. It just depends on your mindset and how far you're ready to go. So that's very important. I think Ezzy has something to say. Ezzy, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually want to kind of push back on that a little bit. As far most jobs, if you look at the description, right? For instance, if it's a bachelor's degree, it'll say bachelor's degree in blah 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 or equivalent experience, right? So I mean, the jobs that demand a tech degree, I think a lot of them are in the minority, right? It's realistically, that's number one. Even if they're not, and I speak from experience. Also, this is just another thing as far as I guess a price of privilege from being a man and just being very bold. I believe in leverage. Like my friend that I told you about, he doesn't have a high school diploma, right? But it's kind of hard when you go to the interview and you're a fit for the job and you kill it. It's hard to say no because of red tape. It's forced to make them say no. I would actually say, even if maybe not have your hopes up, but just go out there and apply. You don't forget even having the degree in something else, if you have a degree in something else, you are beyond good. It's just more so that's just pivoting at that point, just pivoting. But overall, I would say, most of the time, and also you have to understand, right? When Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, when people like him speak 25, 30, 40 years ago, when Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, when they speak, they change the scope of everything, right? It's called an MBA, like, a postgraduate business school. That's basically, hey, okay, you've gotten your degree. This is how things work in the real world as far as on high level business. Elon Musk just said 2 months ago, we are tired. No, we here at Tesla, we no longer hire brilliant jerks, right? Mind you know who he is. That's Elon Musk. What he says impacts everything, right? He buys, he's into Bitcoin. Bitcoin prices soar up, right? What he said, that we don't hire brilliant jerks. My brother-in-law who works at Netflix, right, and he's hired up at Netflix as well. He's like, yeah, I could see that. He's always said, matter of fact, his name is Eugene. He's always said, sometimes he's kind of iffy about hiring people from Harvard or Ivy League schools because of the simple fact that they're rarely ever a fit because of the intelligence. They feel like it's hard to listen. It's hard to make them a subordinate. It's hard to have them report to anyone, right? And so my point being is this. Companies are tired of hiring brilliant jerks. What we do today is going to be in the textbooks of tomorrow. When Elon Musk, one of the richest men in the world, does today is going to shape business and how business is done tomorrow. Because when he says that, a lot of business owners have hired the best resume, and they found out, wow, this is a terrible fit, right? So forget that. Even if that's changing. Look at Apple, Google, a lot of these companies, they'll put that or equivalent experience. That's that wink, wink. If you're good, you're good, right? People that have a background, criminal background sometimes, wink, wink. If you're great, you're good. It might be a little bit more difficult, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Capitalism doesn't, as much as we care, it's capitalism. End of the day, it rewards those who have the best product. It's hard to turn you down if you have the best product. If you're not going to Tesla, right, you have an MBA, and I go without an MBA, but I'm personable, it means you work with, I can learn and unlearn, I can grow. Guess who's getting the job, right? And you have to understand, once again, Elon Musk, those guys, Jeff Bezos, they're at the top of the food chain. So when they say these things, it changes the course of learning, this how we see processes and operations and HR and all these things. So he's saying what a lot of people have felt, which is the best resume. I'm a recruiter. I pass on, I shortlist resumes, I screen them, and I pass them on to the client in order. Hey, this is the one I think the best, from the best resume. Second, it's about 70% of the time, the number one ranked resume does not get the job. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we're not hiring a resume, we're hiring a human being. Can I work with you for 10 hours a day? Right? Can you learn, unlearn? Can you grow within the company? So I would actually strongly advise, that's what's most important. Obviously, you need like some Ms. Temi to break into tech maybe, but if you have no degree or diploma, that doesn't matter. Come on here. I come from a basketball background. If you can hoop, you can hoop. That's what we said. I don't care how tall you are, if you can hoop, you can hoop. You may not look the type, right? But you come out here, you can hoop, period. So if you could get the job done, you can get it done. If Elon Musk, the world's richest man, the one that his company just got the contract from NASA to build the next person to the moon, if that person is telling you, you don't need we don't hire brilliant jerks anymore, then forget what I'm saying. I'm just one person that you don't know, you don't care about. I'm irrelevant. Listen to Elon Musk, and let that be the mindset. First thing I want to end with is Ms. Temi mentioned mindset over skill or
skill set. Skill set, mindset, and skill set.
Yeah, guys, trust me. Once again, We don't hire brilliant jerks. If your skill set is there and your mindset isn't, you are useless. Not only for Tesla, but for every other company. If your skill set is there, but you're going through mental health issues because you don't take care of your mental health and you keep on skipping work, you're lagging at work, you're slow at work, you can't communicate with your coworkers, you're done. If your skill set is there, but you don't have it together as a person, you're there. If your skill set is there, but you violate HR probation, HR protocol, because you go around the office telling women you're beautiful and that just looks nice on you, you're done. So it's always about the mindset. I'm not forget the skill set, but the mindset will breed the skill set. If you have the mindset, you can go and get a PMP from Ms. Temi that she can help you. She can help you coach. She can help you do these things. But the most important thing is the mindset. So please, guys, be encouraged. Forget that degree. You don't need it. You need the right mindset. Get with a mentor, and you're good to go. Remember, companies are tired of hiring brilliant jerks. So focus on yourself and the mindset, and then build everything else will come afterwards. I'm Ezzy, and I'm done speaking.
Whoa, Ezzy, that is fire. That is hard, brother. Thank you so much. Exactly. Skill set, you need a great mindset. Even though like I always said, skill set will get you the job, but your mindset will keep the job. Let's say also in the area of you don't have a college degree. Without a college degree, your mindset will get you the job to get in because you will have all the skills supporting that skill. Even though you don't have a college degree, you only have GED or whatever, you get in. But your mindset will now push you, encourage you, support you, not to use not to build your self-confidence and continue to study. Now register for college, study, and then you can actually, people that you think they are way ahead of you, you can become their boss tomorrow. So what I'm saying, so what we are just saying is that we are not trying to badge that college is bad, but we are trying to tell you that start from wherever you are. Don't wait. There's no reason to wait. Don't wait and say until I finish my college I can't get into tech. Don't wait until you finish college to get into tech. Don't wait until you get a college degree to get into tech. Come and make some money. $10 an hour, $5 an hour doesn't cut it these days. You need big money. You need good money. You have a lot of career, a lot of people, a lot of families that are tied to your destiny. Move forward because of them. Even if you don't want to move forward for yourself, even though I'm just kidding with that. Move forward. Make a change. Many lives will see your testimonial and also move forward. A lot of people are just in standstill in their life right now, in their career right now because of fear. What is fear? It's just false evidence that's appearing real. You understand? You see things, it looks real, it looks impossible, but because you are not moving, you need to move. When you move, other things will move. You try to say, okay, I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before I can do 6. Well, start with 1. Do 1. Then when we get to 2, we figure out how to do 2. And then we get to 3, we figure out how to do 3. How about that? So don't wait until you have a college degree to get an IT job. Just start with whatever you have. Take some IT courses. Now move forward from there. At least if you look back, you will see like, okay, if I've done 8 weeks course, 12 weeks course, I wasn't here last year or last 8 weeks or last 12 weeks. What I know now, I don't know before. Plus the fact that when you have someone to mentor you, to train you, to coach you, it will take a faster time for you to get into tech than for you to start going to Udemy. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to Udemy, but start going to Udemy and spend 6 months there and waste your life, you waste your time, waste your resources, and then you can't even understand or follow. So people learn differently. But what I'm saying, I'm giving you an advantage of a bootcamp. And then you can even use Udemy resources as a backup. That's fine. But you need to move. This 2020, 2021, there are tons of remote jobs out there. There are tons of IT jobs out there. They need people. People work remotely, work 2, 3 jobs. Move, reinvest in yourself, and make a change. Pivot into tech. That's the best thing for you at this point in time. I'll stop right there because I can preach forever. This is what I do for life. So I can preach forever on that and why you should do that. Because I've seen it all for 26 years and I've seen it easier ways to things, and I don't want people to make mistakes. So that's why you see me preaching on this topic. Very, very important. So I'll stop right there and we'll let Anna introduce herself and also chime in. Anna, please, you're welcome. The floor is yours.
Hey, Miss Temi, thank you. Thank you so much, Ezzy. You guys brought the church into Clubhouse. So thank you for that. That's very motivating. It's great to hear the passion that comes out of you guys' voices and, the passion that you have into helping others succeed and be successful in their career. So thank you so much for that. My name is Anna, and I'm a project manager, career strategist. I help women who are trying to get into project management just learn the steps they need to take so that they can learn those dream jobs in project management or Scrum Master. I'm here to support Miss Temi. She's always had amazing rooms and great knowledge that she gives to people. So I'm here to support her. And if anyone wants support from me, please reach out to me on IG. I do have an event next Saturday on how to get into project management or Scrum Master role. So please reach out. And the link to register is on my IG bio. Thanks, Miss Temi. This is Anand. I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much.
That was too humble, Anna. Hold up, y'all. I'm not gonna let that slide. So
I thought
Anna,
as much.
She's bad. She's a bad MF. Let's get that straight right now. She just out here with a humble cap. I just referred her to someone 2 days ago, and the person hit me up. I referred her Miss Temi, Anna, and someone else I knew, and she was just like, "Yeah, I joined Anna's class." But you guys, let's be honest. I'll be honest with you guys. As much as I'm passionate about this, I'm here because of Miss Temi and people like Miss Anna, because they're doing this for free. If I were them, I'm so sorry, but this takes time. This is a resource, right? It's not going to be free, right? People value things if it's value, you're willing to pay for it, right? But they're doing it literally for free $99, and so you guys take advantage of it. And if you need to pay for what, it's worth it, because just like I sell analytics software that's millions of dollars, right? So when I talk to a CMO, CFO, CRO, some chief officer, it's always going to be like, whoa, like that's ridiculous, because they know who we are, and okay, that's fine. But let me show you how it's going to save you. It's going to cost you 1.5 million. Let me show you how it's going to save you 35 million over the next 7 years. And we have that meeting, right? Don't look at the cost up front. Like, make sure you use these resources, and at some point, pay for the resource. Like, if at some point it's gonna take specialized help. Some of you are not gonna be able to learn in a big classroom, right? When you go from being in a class to being a client, right? That's different. That's very different. So please make sure you guys use these resources that are on stage, because, like she said, my sister, she had a medical background, right? And she switched to whatchamacallit. She tried for years to do it by herself. Right? We're African, we're Igbo, we're very, very hard-headed, like we're very stubborn. And it didn't work for years, right? With this 6 months of a mentor, she got into it. So use these resources, and if it costs you money, it's worth it. Don't look at the cost up front. That's poverty mindset. Look at the investment. Play the long game. You've been playing a short game so far, it hasn't worked. If you're in this room trying to get into tech, or you're not sure about it, that means whatever you've done so far probably hasn't had the best, it hasn't turned out the best. But not that it hasn't worked, but just the results haven't been what you expected, or you want something that's new. This is your chance to do it. No one saying that you can't do it. You can do it by yourself, very much so. But there's this reason why there's an African proverb that says, when you want to go somewhere, it's best to travel with someone that's been there before. I'm Ezzy, and I'm done speaking.
Oh boy, this is hot.
You're so kind. Thank you.
This is hot today. What's going on? I can feel the heat. Come on. Thank you so much. And when I look at the room,
I just wanted to jump in and say that.
Yes. And also when I look at the room, half of the room are my students. I said, what is going on here? Everybody is here. So thank you all guys for coming. I really appreciate you. Okay, Robert, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. No, I was going to say, I want to take a chance to talk first, but I was just going to say, I really like the way Izzy comes across to me, because it's not just what he's saying, it's how he's saying it, because I can tell for sure he believes it. I think people need to hear that. So one of the things I wanted to just it sparked something in me though when I was listening to him talk, and he's talking about really, I think the idea now, and I'm hearing a lot more buzz around this, it's the idea of hiring for skills. And I think, what I've actually seen in job applications is exactly what he's talking about, where I'm looking at project manager jobs in healthcare, and, honestly, they say, it will say, project management experience or equivalent, or, college degree or equivalent. So honestly, what I'm seeing now is hospitals will actually hire someone preferentially over me if they have experience working in a hospital, because in their mind, they think, well, he's not as familiar. He doesn't know the industry. So, they're actually looking for people who have an understanding of the skills of what it takes to work in those matrix environments in a hospital. So I've actually seen some of that myself, which, again, I'm competing with people who have the experience, but in the proper skill set. And that's what I see that people are kind of looking for. And they are very open to hiring people that have shown they have those skills versus that they have a degree or some kind of box, other box or something that they kind of want to arbitrarily check off. And the other thing I liked about, Ms. Temi, you're talking about mindset, and I was just going to point out something. One of my role models now, as I really think more about tech, is look at Steve Jobs. They would agree. But the thing I noticed and what I really like, and I came across this the other day about his a job application that he had filled out, and it was really funny because it asks on there, do you have transportation? So instead of saying no, because he didn't have a car, he says possible but not probable. And so it was just this really funny way of how he answered the question, is he didn't want to say no, but he's kind of being honest at the same time. But it's this creative and kind of outside of the box mindset and thinking that he didn't rule himself out. And so I think it's that kind of thing that I think people really see is when you get in that right mindset, when you start looking at yourself as a person who's going to do what you want to do, even if people don't think you can, or they don't believe in you, you believe in yourself, then yeah, it's going to happen. And so even like me, I 3 months ago was looking at, can I work in tech? Is this possible? I was asking kind of probably some pretty silly questions in Clubhouse rooms 3 months ago. And now I'm looking at it saying, not only is it possible, I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting recruiters contacting me because they understand that I'm serious, and I believe it too. So I just want to say, for anybody out there who doesn't know, doesn't think that they can, you can. And when I land the job and it's in tech, I will be happy to come back and let everybody know, because I want people to see that it's happening, and it's happening for a lot of people. So I just wanted to kind of share those two things, and thank you, Izzy, especially for kind of saying it the way that you do, because it really that keeps me motivated, because I'm trying to do it myself. So I'm Robert, and I'm.
Thank you so much, Robert. I remember your first day. I remember we met at Ken's room, and I saw you speaking. So even the Clubhouse itself is a lot of experience for people. I mean, this Clubhouse is phenomenal. So I hope you are not just going to rooms that will not, enhance your career or empower you. You can pretty much be on this. This is like Clubhouse University. You can learn a lot about tech on this Clubhouse, and for free too. So it's very, very important that you come to these rooms. You see a lot of topics being repeated over and over in different perspectives, different insight, different ways. So you learn a lot and speak the language and start this, practicing from this club. So thank you so much for this. Tutu, you are back. Do you want to chime in before we move to another discussion area?
Yeah, I wanted to chime in earlier on what I think Easy was saying earlier about companies don't want to, if you're too smart, like if you went to Harvard. I agree with him, because there is a such thing as being overly qualified, and there is a culture thing now that they do when they're doing interviews, that they want to make sure that you fit into their culture. And if they feel like you're too strong-headed, or you might not get the job, and you could be very well qualified and overqualified, but you still might not get the job if they sense a lack of humility, and if they see that you might not you might just come off as a know-it-all. Because like I recently I was told about a job that they let people go, but they were like, they didn't complain that they didn't lack any knowledge. They actually said they were great at being technical, but I think because they weren't relatable enough, or they weren't they couldn't work in a team very well, they let them go. So it wasn't the lack of knowledge. It wasn't that they couldn't do their tasks. They actually said they did their work fine, but it was just, maybe they just wanted to be left alone or something, or they just didn't relate to people enough, collaborate enough. I don't know. So a lot of companies do, they're not going to hire you if they feel, if you're going to come in there and they're going to feel intimidated by you. You know what I mean? Like, if they're going to feel intimidated by you, or if they feel like you know too much, you might not get the job. You just might not be. And also, they have clients, right? So they want you to be able to relate, not just to them. You're going to be speaking with stakeholders and clients and external clients sometimes, and they don't want you to ever come in contact with their clients and they don't like you. And if the client doesn't like you, they'll let you go anyway, right? So I do agree with what Easy was saying, that you have to have, if you have too much knowledge, doesn't give you a leg over anybody. It just doesn't. Sometimes if you have too much knowledge, you're just better off creating your own product. And because then why do you want to work for people, right? You might as well just create your own product, and just, if you have an ego issue, you know what I mean? So yeah, and that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to add, and I was saying earlier that yes, cyber and tech is becoming very, very competitive. Especially companies like FANG companies are becoming very, very competitive. So it depends on which company you're trying to get into. If you're trying to get into like a FANG company, you might want to you want to look really good, right? So you want to come with your A game. So some fields you might not need, like a degree. Like some technical fields, they just need you to be able to do that technical work, the skills, right? And some fields you may need a degree, because it's really getting really competitive these days, because tech isn't going anywhere, and it's continuously evolving. And now we're having cloud, and then they were talking about serverless. Now they're talking about AI, machine learning. There's so much that tech has to offer, and it's a lucrative field, and it's a recession-proof field. It's really competitive. I remember people used to get into tech, and just, they'll recruit you if you're so smart. They'll recruit you out of college sometimes, straight, or even straight out of high school. I have heard of stories too where you're not even in college yet, and you already have offers. People offering you, because you're that great, like you're that good at what you do. But I just want to keep people in, just to remind people that it is very competitive these days, and they're not even just looking for degrees. Sometimes they'll ask you for degree and 15 years experience, or a degree and 7+ experience, and you just never know which one they'll go with. You just never know. And then they'll look for reasons to, like cross elimination. So when it comes down to like 3 candidates, they'll look for a reason to see what one person doesn't have, to just eliminate you, so they can pick that one candidate. So you just never know, but you can definitely leverage your experience. If you work for tech companies before, if you work for like a support, like help desk or whatever, you certainly do have skills there and experience there that you can also put on your resume. My name is Tutu, and I'm done speaking. Thank you.
Okay, let me chime in right there. Thank you, Tutu. So what's gonna help you is your mindset, your skill set, your experience, and your transferable skill. So to get into tech, I still say that college degree does not matter to get in. At first, if you have your skill set by going for IT courses, and you have we've discussed all of these IT courses, and if you follow me on my YouTube, I'll be putting more stuff there. Everything we've doing on this on the YouTube on Clubhouse here, I'm breaking them down into slides, and I'm putting them on YouTube for free, because most people can't get to you to here, so they can always find it out there for free. So you already discussed about skills. We're talking about skill set now and the college degree. You have your transferable skills, your transferable skill, motivation, you are yourself motivated, you are organized, you're a team player, you are, a lot of those, you are passionate and all of that. All of those skills, and then experience, whatever experience you have. If it's just experience in the classroom, being hands-on those tools for cybersecurity, that's enough experience. You don't have to have 7 years experience. You don't have to have 15 years experience. If it's just 3 years experience that you have, that's enough. But a good thing is that you need to have somebody that will reference you. I don't care if you have 1,000,000 years of experience. If there's nobody they will call on the phone, like they call me every time for all my students, and I tell them, if you cannot prove to me, if you are not serious in my class, and you don't do your project, and you don't do the right things, I will not be your reference, because I don't want you to put my company in jeopardy. And I always tell them that. Not that I don't want to reference them, but I push them and everybody behave. You understand? Because I deal with a lot of people. So what I'm saying is that if you have a good skill set, like, whatever skill set area you're looking into, you have that skill set. You have the background, as in maybe hands-on. At least you can prove that, okay, I can do Nessus, I can scan the network, and do this, that. If you can prove that, and you have your transferable skills, and you have a great mindset, you are successful. You are successful. And if they call and I can reference you, as somebody who can reference you, you are good. And that is just it. That is just it to get started and to get into tech. So normally, and I also show people how to search for jobs and how to look at the website to go. There are ways to do things. How to post your resume, how to clean your resume up, how to update it. We talk about all of these things already. Last week we did cover letter and resume. The other week we talk about interview, behavioral interview, and situational interview. We did those 2 weeks ago, and on and on. So you need to be in these rooms. We are not just here to waste our time. We are here to empower you. But when you don't show up, what do? We try our best and go. So in another 1 hour, we'll be gone. So if you love to hear things like this, I can assure you, every Friday and Sunday, I promise myself, and I've prepared my mind, whatever it is, I will be here. Even on Easter Sunday, we were here. We prepared the slides for you. We prepared these slides for you. I know Robert was telling me, how do you manage all of this thing? You are always everywhere. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I wake up.
I was asking you that too.
I wake up thinking about what else. I have my own time. I have my own company, so I have time, all the time, to do whatever I want. So I wake up thinking about, what do I do for these people? What do I need to see me with all this? Like, you'll be like, she's crazy. What, she sleeping 4 a.m. in the morning just to prepare things for these clubbers? For what? But because it is in exactly. So it is in my mind. Even yesterday, Tutu, they gave me 2 weeks ago, a week ago, they gave me, they can pay you now in Clubhouse. I didn't activate it. Tutu was like, Miss Temi, what are you doing? You need to activate this thing.
Yeah, I told you about it like, what, 2 weeks
I was like, no. I don't want to activate it. It's not about the money to me. It's about, how do we give back to the community? How do we empower the community? How do we make people to see things in a different way? I'm already blessed. I'm okay. I have anything I want. Everything I want, I have. It's not about me now, it's about others. How do we empower them? How do we make things, life different? So also we need to know how to share resources, how to help others. Most of us, we are already in our way, but we have our friends, our neighbors that are also struggling, but we will not share this information with them. We will just leave them to suffer. We need to share information, especially people of color, us, Black, African American. We need to be more resourceful by sharing information and letting people know. People of other descent, people of other color, they help themselves. They give information back, they support. We don't do that enough. I'm not saying we don't do that. We are doing that now, but before we don't, because I've been here for a while. I'm not a kid. But we need to do more of empowering ourselves. You understand? You might see two people working in the same job in tech. Before you open your eyes, they've helped the other people already a boss. You are still there. And you'll be like, how did this guy get into the government? You are both contractors, and you both support the same employer and the same government agency. Before you know it, there are people of the other color. They've pulled them and they've helped them to get in. This is what I've seen. They've helped them to get into become federal government employer. You are still there. Ask me what is going on. You don't know, and you know what it is, but you can't say. Now that we're talking about diversity and inclusion, it starts from us. How do we empower our own community? We can point our fingers. When you point one finger at something, the other four fingers is pointing at you. What do you do to empower your community? What do you do to empower your brother, your sister that are also trying to get into tech without college degree? And did you tell them that they can do it, or you are just keeping quiet because you don't want to share that and you want to get there before them? So all these things we need to think about is start changing our mindset to empower our community, not only you but others, so that we will not be in this same situation in some years to come. Because if we don't start addressing this situation, many years to come we will still be in this same situation, and we'll still have to repeat what we're saying today. Even though I know I digress, but pardon me, I have to say that that's how it's coming to my brain.
Yeah, I want to add something to that real quick. Yeah, so as far as even the transferable skills that Ms. Temi was saying, you need a mentor. She was not just only my instructor, my professor. But like, I didn't even know there was such thing as transferable skills. I didn't know. Only thing I knew was, oh, I do know how to use Microsoft Office. I do know how to use Word because I went to college, right? Um, but I didn't know that I could even put, just by doing research on certain tools, that you can add, like you can. There's so many ways you can transfer skills. There's ways that you can word your resume to, like, just like someone mentioned earlier, what Steve Jobs put on his application. You need someone to mentor you to say that, because you don't want to look, you don't want to say, you don't want to have nothing on your resume, right? And during your interviews, you don't want to say nothing, but you need to be able to convince people and be confident. And she's able to build my confidence. Miss Temi, like, will teach you how to package yourself so you can compete with the other candidates, right? So that you can get the job. And so you need someone like Miss Temi, like a mentor. If you were doing it by yourself, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't know, because you're coming into a new field. You're not going to know what to say, if you did it all just by yourself and you didn't have a mentor. So she would tell you, we did mock interviews in class. Okay, and then she would review the resume. I mean, like, that's what she would do as far as skills go, and she'll help you build your resume. We had people in our classes that didn't go to school in this country, and they're in the class, right? People that didn't go to school in the U.S. are in our class, and they have confidence, to take it. You need someone to build that, that strength in you, that just bring it out of you. My name is C2M, I'm done speaking. Hi, C2M. You want to add something?
Hey guys, this is Chris, just listening, so I'm good for now, but thank you for the call to the stage. Appreciate it.
You can't be good for now. You are full of, you always here every single time. No good for now. This is your room. You're probably going to come back to you. We're talking about tech job without college degree. Christopher is from, he's always here with us every time. Thank you so much. And he's also a recruiter and very, very advanced in the industry. But we'll come to you. Let's welcome George and Dan. George, you're welcome. Please introduce yourself and maybe you have a question or just have to echo.
Yes, thank you, Temi. My name is George, and I'm with IBM. I put some stuff in my bio profile. You can check it out. I'm specialized in artificial intelligence, data, cognitive computing, analytics. Certainly, I also have some background in cloud computing as well, because everything is moving to the cloud, right? My suggestion for the folks without college degree is to look into the IBM program for high school. IBM has a high school program which basically training and for training and recruiting high school graduates, right, without college degree. So meaning that some of the jobs within IBM do not require college degree, in fact. And so this is, I believe, is good program. Folks should be looking into that. And I remember the program started at least 2 years ago. I want to say, not even new, but of course, not everyone knows it, and so that's why I want to give that information out. Folks, please look into it, and you can probably search online. The other suggestion I want to give is you can learn without college, right? I mean, you don't need to have to go to college to learn something. So I mean, like myself, I have been in the industry for 25 years after my graduate degree, but I still have to learn because the technology changed so fast, right? I mean, technology, in the last 5 years is different from the technology 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So everybody's learning. I have to learn too. Go to YouTube. On the YouTube, there are a lot of good, technical training videos you can watch, and also leverage freebie, right? Free stuff, such as, if you go to like IBM Cloud or Amazon Cloud, AWS, within a certain limit, you can create a free account to play with technology without paying it, right? So you can sign on those platform, sign for account, then just log in and play with all these different things without cost anything. You know what I mean? So those resources should be a great help. The last thing I want to say is that start building your network, right? Go to LinkedIn. By the way, it's also free, right? Go to LinkedIn, create a profile, start reaching out, to professionals. I believe that people are willing to help. So this is George. I'm done with speaking.
Wow, George, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I already followed you and already copied down um, your profile, the IBM program as well. So this is great. And also, like George mentioned, he mentioned the Google Cloud, the AWS Cloud, and all of that. So we also use those in our classroom. Those are for free, but you need to navigate them, understand how to create all those components and link them together and stuff. So those are the things we teach to help you to know how to create that, so you have projects that you can be hands-on on, so that you can defend those projects. So George, thank you so much. Please, if you can, come and support us. We always say on Fridays at 6 p.m. and also on Sunday at 4 p.m. We really appreciate you.
we really okay, great, thank you.
Can I just ask something real quick, Mr. Me, before I have to run?
Okay, please. Go ahead. Thank you, George.
Yeah. Hey, like George said, guys, I want to back up George. Google also has some free programs, I believe, for you guys to learn with if you want to. I did want to throw it out there. And also, I want Ms. Tutu kind of mention something I kind of wanted to end with. Hey, as far as life, if you don't learn a lesson, it's kind of like class, right? You're not eventually have to learn it again. It's that simple, right? She mentioned that if you're brilliant, go and start your own company. Here's the problem with that, right? At some point, if you can't work within a team, at some point you're gonna get stuck, right? So if you start your own company and you're a terrible teamwork, people cannot work with you, they cannot stand you. There is a certain amount of I am sick and tired of your shit that people have. You can't pay them enough to do it anymore, right? And so I want to challenge you guys. It's a mindset. Like I said, I come from my athletic background, and we're always just talking, and I see it all the time. In no field of life is it necessarily the best athletes. No. It's the athletes who stay out of trouble, who practice, who do all the things that get to the end goal, right? It's the developers who. It's not just the best developers. I mentioned my friend before, right? When we began this conversation, that he was, really brilliant, right? Unfortunately, because his mind wasn't right, his mindset wasn't right. He's in and out of rehab, and not it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, you need to get your mind right, right? And that also means your ego. If you're too smart to learn, right? He who knows a lot knows that he knows nothing at all. If you're too smart to learn, it's only a matter of time. I just heard this example yesterday. 2000, I don't know how old you guys are. Me, I'm an old head, right? Well, not literally, but I remember when Blockbuster was popping. Blockbuster was what was popping. Blockbuster used to open they used to open a new location every 17 hours. That's how fast they were growing. 2003, Netflix comes along and goes to Blockbuster and says, "Hey, we have this thing where you can let us help you guys make your movies more digital and whatnot."
I heard about that.
The Blockbuster CEO laughed him out of the office. Mm-hmm. And now look today. You can't spell fame without the N. The N is for Netflix. It's not for Bang. There's no B on there. There's no Blockbuster. The blue and yellow is gone.
Yeah.
Right?
I heard that last week too.
Yeah, so guys,
they should have invested stock into Blockbuster should have invested stock into Netflix. I just heard that last week. I didn't know they had to offer the opportunity, and I bet they regret it. There's only one or two Blockbusters left in the U.S. now.
There's only one in Oregon, and that one is more for people to go and visit and mourn and cry because it's gone. So, but long story short, guys, it's just that it doesn't matter what field you're in. If your mindset isn't right enough to go, if you're too brilliant, quote unquote, to go and work as part of a team for a company, you're not gonna. That same mindset will be your downfall whenever you start your own company, and it's really smart, and you're so good that you're opening up a new location every 17 hours. The Blockbuster CEO, oh now ex-CEO, he said that his biggest regret in life is not taking Netflix serious. That same mindset. So please, you can never be too smart. It just doesn't happen. You could try and move around and run around, and it's always someone else's fault. It's never your fault. You're too dumb. You're too smart. That's fine. Keep on living. Roosters always come home to roost. And when yours comes home, you'll be later on in life, you have more to lose, and you'll be like, dang, that was a big mistake. So please, get your mind right. I'm Ezzy, and I'm done speaking.
Can I get an amen?
Yes, Dan, please go ahead. Welcome, Dan.
I don't think you caught what I was saying, Temi.
Sorry, amen.
Mr. Vivek.
Like it's hot right now. He's on fire still.
Every time as he goes on one of his rants, I feel like I don't have to work out that day. He goes so fast. I feel like I just run a marathon.
Sorry if I talk kind of fast. It's just this stuff is like, because I mean I see it all the time, and yeah, it's just, you know, if you're always the broken vessel always lasts the longest. If you're a broken vessel, that means you've been through a lot and you're gonna withstand time. So you just have to keep on always growing. And I've seen too many smart people in corporate America get walked out the door because they're too smart for their own good. You're so smart, but now you're unemployed, and you keep on going from job to job to job in the same role. You can't get the equity to really move up or get the money, or it's not even about the money. It's just that those same people, if you look in their personal life, it's the same issue, right? So just please, not forget the skill set, because obviously you need it, but I think that the mindset is so much very important, especially if you don't have a degree, because that's what you're gonna show off in the thing. Like Steve Jobs didn't have a car. For Jobs had a car, and he still became Steve Jobs. So if he can do that, why can't you become the next whatever in your field? I don't see why not. I'm Ezra, I'm done speaking.
Yeah, let me chime in there for a minute.
Add something to that, or I don't know if we're okay on time or not.
Yeah, 1 second. You know the problem when you're in tech and you think you have a right, you don't listen to anybody. People ask me, say me, why are you so humble? You have all of these things. You have a company, you have everything, you have been in tech forever, and you are this humble. And I'd be like, what should I do? Should I put fire on my head? They say you are too humble. You don't show that you have all of this. See, whatever you have in life, as you grow, as you continue to advance in your career, that's where your humility needs to increase. Because I've seen a lot of students that are trained. When I start training them, they're very humble. When they start making money, they get being proudful. And I see it. But sometimes I'll just be quiet. I said, these people, you need to stop this pride. You need to be humble. So the thing in tech can make you to become prideful. Prideful in a bad way, being proud. You understand? So you need to now, because sometimes when you stop, even I'm the one that trained you, I can't even talk to you anymore. If I tell you this, you tell me that, like I know it. Yeah, I know it. You won't even let me talk. You understand what I'm saying? So at that point, I'll be quiet, because you're gonna be your own downfall. You understand? So people tend to get very proud and no more humble when you get into tech. Tech can get into your head. So we need to be careful, so that when we get into tech, or even any other area of expertise in any other career, that is where you need to be more humble. Because one thing you will say, people with term it like 10 different things, like, oh, she said it because of this and that. You don't know what you say is going to affect somebody, impact somebody negatively, more than being positive. You understand? So we need to be careful. So that's what AZ is saying. It's also echoing that. Stay humble, listen. It doesn't matter any IT field that you find yourself, they will have to train you. The major thing is that you will be trained and be retrained. If you maybe you move from DOD and now you decide to pivot into maybe healthcare, they will train you and tell you, oh, in DOD you do it like this, but here we don't do it like that. It's not an offense. You don't have to be offended by that, but that's the truth. They don't do that. In DOD, they don't use sticks. They don't do all of these other things in cybersecurity, but they do their own like this. So you should be ready to learn. You should be ready to learn. You should be ready to be trained and stay humble. Very, very important in tech. To make it, you stay humble and be able to submit to a leadership. If you cannot submit to a leadership in tech, you will fail. Even if you have a company, your company will also fail. You need to be able to submit to leadership. You need to be able to listen and think before you say anything or do anything. It's very important. I'll stop right there. Thank you, Mani, our doctor, the best IT doctor on the Clubhouse. Welcome, and Nikita, welcome, and Vivek, welcome. So I'll let you guys chime in. Maybe Vivek will go for then Mani and Nikita. And we're discussing about tech job without a college degree. Anyone can go first. Manny, you can go first if you want to.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all for bringing me up here. Yeah, I just wanted to jump in because I'm very passionate about this area. I've worked at coding boot camps in the past. People come in without college degrees, and are able to become, software developers. I currently work at a nonprofit where we train underserved young adults, and we train them in IT. And the majority of them have no college degree, and they're earning internships at the Salesforces, Googles, and Facebooks of the world. And I truly believe that with like the right encouragement, support, high support, but also really high expectations as well, people are able to break into the tech industry without a college degree. And I think as he when he was here alluded to that as well. I think he mentioned like Steve Jobs. Although like Steve Jobs was in college at some point, really possible. And I think that what a lot of times what stands in a lot of people's ways is imposter syndrome, or like thinking that you're not good enough, or you're intimidated by all the people who do have college degrees around you. And it's feedback and things that I see all the time because I bring in interns back to teach them from Facebook, and their teams are full of people with 4-year degrees. They've been there for years and they don't have degrees, these young adults. And, they come back and, talk to us and confide in us when they're not able to confide in their own teams. So I think that type of support, being able to confide in management, confide in your teams that you're working on, and there's that level of openness will, hopefully build out more of a diverse workforce where people, without college degrees are more, able to transition into tech without that degree. And I think that companies are starting to become more open to that slowly. But that's, kind of, I hope that that happens, at a faster rate than it is right now, because it's kind of at a snail pace, in my opinion. My name is Manny, and I've spoken.
Thank you, our career doctor. I really appreciate you for coming into our club. We're always there on Friday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 4 p.m. Please, we'd like to see more of you. Thank you so much for coming back. Vivek, do you have any input? Vivek is actually with Facebook in the house. Welcome.
Hey, sorry, I'm driving, so excuse the noise. The one thing that I wanted to add on top of all of these things is that the technology space is actually evolving pretty rapidly. So what is in the market, what is hot today, is not something that was hot like 5-6 years ago as well. So the college degree is more like a point in time thing. So I don't really know if that makes a big difference. I think what is important is the college, like the mindset to learn, the mindset to acquire the skill set, and things like that. Like just for context, my undergraduate, I do have a college degree, but it's in civil engineering. That has nothing to do with computer science. And I did transition to CS at some point of time early in my career, and I'm trying to keep up to speed with what's going on these days. So my message here would be that tech jobs is actually entirely based on skills. There are different types and kinds of it. Definitely, there are jobs which require you to have a PhD and a college degree and whatnot, but there's a wide variety of jobs which don't need any of that. So my guidance or my advice for folks is try to pick ones that don't need that level of depth in terms of formal degrees, and you'll do pretty well. This is Vivek, and I'm done speaking.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are going to be getting into those fields that don't need, because I was going to discuss that, but if we can today, we're probably going to do it on Sunday, because I have quite a list of different areas that you can look into that don't require you to have, and I'm going to break it down to actually let you know what are the skills you need for each of them. So we'll do that. Nikita, you are welcome. Please introduce yourself and if you can chime in.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Temi, for having me, and thanks a lot for having this room. I think this is a great topic in terms of where a lot of people who don't have a college degree and they are still looking to get into tech. I think it's like what Vivek mentioned, that there definitely many various jobs which don't require a college degree, which don't need to have bachelor's and master's degree, and you can directly apply, you can do that. But on the same hand, this is very important that when you read the job description, there are a lot of times which where people actually make them mandatory. So if you don't have a college degree and you're still applying and getting those rejections, please do make out a list of the companies which don't make bachelor's degree or master's degree as a compulsory degree, to avoid that auto-generated rejections, because a lot of times people do make them mandatory, and hiring managers or the recruiters put them as a condition, as the filter thing. So if you don't have it in your resume, in your profile, you won't be able to pass it. But they are not important, they are not necessary, they are not mandatory. But on the same hand, just to not get rejected again and again, please do figure out if that's a mandatory part. If not, then you are good to apply. If they are mandatory, please try to avoid if you don't have a relevant degree or you don't have a degree, because then, I mean, you will get a rejection or they won't consider you for that role. This is Nikita, I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Nikita. Really appreciate you. Exactly what you said. That's perfect. That's great. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Robert, I think you have something to say, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm just going to say something real quick. I'm going to have to run here in a second, but just going to say, you mentioned, mindset, and we're talking about success and how to act, or maybe how not to act when you become successful, right? When you make it. I was going to say, that goes for companies too, right? Because you see what happens when, we talk about Blockbuster. Blockbuster didn't want to listen, they didn't want to evolve, and Blockbuster's gone, right? So I guess and I think I was just going to point that out, as professionals, we owe it to ourselves to keep.
Yeah, we can't hear you anymore, Robert. Oh, wow. Okay. I think something's happening. Okay. So, yeah, so it was discussing about mindset and how you have to continue to evolve and be trainable and, ready to learn. It's very important. It's also applicable to tech. Ready to learn, ready to understand, and all that. So it's very important. So we thank you. We have different, background, people with different background. They've come here to empower you, to give back to you. So I hope you are writing things down. You are keeping notes. Even myself, I'm keeping notes. We are all here to learn and to support ourselves. Tutu, you have something to chime in?
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick that when we were talking about tech, when you're a tech guru or you're a tech person, just remain humble and removing your ego. These days, you can catch a lawsuit. If you're too egotistical and someone feels like you've treated them unfairly, or spoken to them, or you harass them or something, because you're hard to work with, you can catch a lawsuit. In terms of inclusion and diversity, I heard someone recently in one of the rooms saying that a lot of the technology companies, because of if they're in Silicon Valley, and this is a little bit off topic but still in tech, right? If you're in Silicon Valley and you have a startup company that started with two friends or a brother or two brothers or something, whichever demographic you're familiar with is who you'll hire in your tech startup. And then later on, they realize, oh, we need more diversity. Then they'll find somebody who in a recruiting department, HR department, recruitment to, procure some, diverse individuals into their company, because everyone now realize that you have to be diverse in technology. You don't know where your newest, latest, talent can come from anywhere. And the more diverse you are, the better your company will be. It's just it's the right thing to do, and also it's just the best thing to do, right? And so a lot of companies now are very big on diversity. I hope they continue to improve more and more on that as well. I saw somebody here that wanted to ask a question earlier, and I tried to bring him up here, but
it
didn't work.
Yeah, I tried to bring him up like 3 times. I couldn't. That was Tolu. But I hope he will be able to come back.
His name is Tolu, and it just didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. So it was just me.
Yeah, Tolu, you may have to exit this room, then come back in. Yeah, I couldn't pull you out.
Yeah, okay, so that's what it is. So thank you all so much for joining. So we're gonna meet again on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then we can actually do part 2 of this room where we'll go over all the different IT, the tech career, maybe web development, data analysis, data engineering. What's the difference between the two? Looking at cybersecurity, the different stacks of cybersecurity programming, and so on and so forth, and see what you need, what skills you need, because that will take an hour plus or 2 hours to even get into that. I have those in my slide, but we're gonna do that on Sunday at 4 p.m. So I really appreciate if all our moderators can please come back on Sunday if you can. We will appreciate it at that time so we can discuss more on this. Our rooms are always like between 1 hour, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes. And we started this room at 6. So it's a good time that we can round up and close down the room. So I really appreciate everyone. As I PTR, I noticed we start from Manny up of then Vivek, George, C2M, Anna. There's gonna be Tutu and Nikita, and I'll close down the room. So one word of encouragement for someone out there that's trying to get into tech without a college degree. What is one word of advice that we will give them? Manny, I'll start with you so we can close down. One word of encouragement, one word of advice that you can give to someone that's trying to get into tech without a college degree. Just give them one word. It might be an advice, it might be an encouragement, whatever. If we can start with Manny, or if Manny is busy, because a lot of people are doing, like multitasking. We go to Vivek. Vivek, do you have any word of advice?
I can go ahead. So I think the one thing I would look at is there's like tons of free tools available for folks. There's a lot of free material and ways to practice. There's coaches and mentors available. There are programs and courses available. So college degree is just one of the ways of actually getting to the next step. You have too many options in front of you. Do find out how other people have been successful without college degrees and see if you can apply the same principles and get ahead.
Thank you, Vivek. That's very good. Thank you. George, from IBM, you are next.
Right, I can go next. Thank you, Temi. Yeah, I would say believe in yourself, right? I mean, trust us that you don't need a college degree to be able to to get a job in tech. I don't believe that. Again, right? Like a company like IBM, IBM has program for high school graduates. That's the kind of things that folks should be looking into. And but again, believing yourself is probably is most important, right? Don't give up. Thank you. This is George. I'm done speaking.
Thank you, George. C2M.
Yeah, thanks for the space, Temi. And while I was listening, I was just trying to reflect. I work with a lot of, folks that are, sometimes in between careers. And when you think about not having a degree, I would agree with George that, a degree isn't what's most important, but definitely building your network is, right? So we talk a lot about finding the jobs that aren't posted or getting, through an applicant tracking system. So, just make sure you network. Temi mentioned, she'll be opening this room back on Sunday. So build part of the community, connect with folks on LinkedIn, research jobs, find recruiters and companies, right? So, use that network, use that hustle, in place of the degree to show, one, that you're qualified, and two, that you really want to be there. This is Chris from Boston. I'm done speaking.
Wow, thank you, Christopher. Anna, you're next.
Thank you so much, Ms. Temi, and thank you so much, Chris, for bringing that up about networking and things like that, because that's one of the ways that outside of, just cold application of jobs. Networking is huge because it can help you get into the door. So from a project management perspective, and I'm sure in this in other roles as well, just know what your transferable skills are, because they're universal transferable skills that you can bring from one industry to another. So start writing those down and see what you can bring to the table. And then when you're looking at that job description, see what specific items they're looking at, and maybe you can start working towards those. I mean, I'm thankful that I was able to come to this country as a student, and now I'm a citizen, but I have never even used the degree that I got when I first came into this country. So leverage your skills, whatever you can transfer from one industry to another, use those, and just network, as Chris mentioned. This is I'm done speaking, and thank you, Ms. Temi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Tutu, you are next. Tutu, one last word of encouragement for someone that's trying to get into tech without.
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna learn Python, it is, you don't need college degree. Tools. Learn a lot of tools. There's open. You can learn Python. You can learn JavaScript. You know, you need a mentor, okay? You definitely need a mentor. You can learn about cybersecurity policies if you want to go into cybersecurity, or information security policies and the regulations, and, you know, all these frameworks. If you're doing the technical side, you know, you can do Amazon. You know, you can sign up for Amazon Management Console, and just, you know, there's Udemy, there's, you know, YouTube. There's a lot of ways, but you have to make sure your resume is like the A game, because they never really ask for your resume. They're not going to ask you they never really ask for your college degree. Like, they're not going to say, send us a copy of your diploma. Most of these companies won't ask you that, right? So no, you don't need college degree. But you need to bring, like, you can either bring a certification and be able to discuss your projects that you've worked on, tools that you worked on, programming, get on GitHub, and show evidence of these tools in your portfolio. Like, if you know how to run SQL and run query, or, you know, if you worked with Tableau or Power BI, just know how to speak on these tools and convince them and package yourself. Once you can do that, you know, they're not even going to ask for your college degree. If you can convince them and you're relatable and you can fit into their culture, you got the job. I wanted to ask Kareem to speak real quick, because I don't know if he's going to leave the room or not. Do you have a question, Mr. Kareem?
Yeah, thanks for bringing me up on stage. I just have a point to share with you, so it won't be long. So basically, if your time is scarce, just remember that the market today is really, really specialized, to the point that it might be a waste of time for anybody to go and do a degree. For example, let's say you want to become a developer, JavaScript developer, for example. So there's no point in you going to college and spend 4 or 5 years just to study Java. You can study it in 6 months, 1 year to get to the market. The market is so specialized nowadays, so you don't need a degree. If you want to learn something, just put your head around it, learn it in 6 months, 1 year, and then you can get a job. You can get a job in any company in the world. One of the best companies, for example, Google. You don't need a degree to go to Google. All you need just to master one particular thing to enter the market. That's it. So if your time is scarce, you don't have time, then please go and learn in 6 months, 1 year. You don't need to think about degree. You don't need to spend time, money, and this is how the market works nowadays. So that was my point. This is Kareem, done speaking. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kareem. Because even with me right now, like, I am skeptical to tell people to, like, even though we all know college is, you know, it's very important to have a college degree. However, because of student loans and the cost of colleges these days, I can't just tell someone to just go ahead and pay for it, because a lot of jobs, especially tech companies, they have so much funding and budget that they can pay for your college degree. So if you can get your way in, and like he said, it's so highly specialized now. You have people like Ms. Temi, for example. Professor Temi, she teaches a lot of these specializations, okay? She can teach database administrator. She can teach Oracle, Java, Python. She can teach you how to code. There are some, you know, there are other jobs that specialize in just Oracle. And I think I heard that Oracle might be going, I don't know if it's still in style, if it's still like on high demand right now, because with tech you have to continuously learn and have to continuously like enhance your skills and your knowledge, because now we're all getting into cloud. Everybody wants to learn about cloud. Next after cloud is learning AI and other, who knows what's coming up in the next 10 years, 15, 25 years. So with technology, there's a lot of, there's SharePoint administrators. There's jobs called SharePoint administrators. There's a job called site, I think it's site reliability engineer. I don't even know what that, really, what do they do? There's, so many jobs. There's data engineer. Ms. Temi does teach you cloud SQL. That will help you become a data engineer as well. There's so many specializations out here that, because the downfall about going straight to college sometimes is they teach you they teach you a broad scope of everything. They don't teach you specifically what fits you. And because it's so broad, it's like, so what do? Which specialty do you go into? Which field do you go into? So sometimes it's good to have someone like Professor Temi who can mentor and train you. And then when you get into the tech company and they're like, hey, we'll pay you for this, we'll pay for that, then let them pay for it, and then let them reimburse you for it, and then go to school. Okay. My name is Tutu, and I'm done speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Tutu. Thank you, Tutu. Yeah, so it's very important, like the companies, like we already mentioned, we've opened this room like an hour 40 minutes ago. So we mentioned all of those things, like Tutu is echoing again. On Sunday we'll break down all these courses and let you know what you need for those courses, and now you can go about them. So that will give enough time to go over those things. So in tech, they will in college, they will teach you all of these skills, because I'm also an adjunct professor. I lecture at 3 universities right now. It will teach all of these things that are not relevant. You need to pick a certain area of specialization. And that's what I did when I went to college with all of those degrees. I still have to specialize in certain area, and I have to go for a boot camp too. That's like 20 something years ago. I had to go to a boot camp. Without a boot camp, I can't get any job, because I don't know what area. I don't know enough to get a job in any field. I don't know enough Oracle to get started. I don't know enough data structure to get started. So I need to now go for a boot camp for a couple of weeks before I can get a job. So, and that's a problem with everybody. That's why I get started with what I'm doing, because there's a gap. We need to fill that gap. So we're about to close down. And Nikita is the last person, and I will close the room. Nikita, your advice for someone that's trying to get into tech without a college degree.
Thanks a lot, Amy, for having this room. As I mentioned previously, definitely it's not mandatory for you to have a degree. It's not required 100% to have a degree when you are applying for tech roles. But to be sure and to be 100% aligned with the roles that's been there on the jobs, you need to make sure that companies have not made a degree mandatory. If they have made a bachelor's degree or a master's degree as a mandatory thing and you are applying without that, and you have put it there as a no condition, because those are the few mandatory questions generally companies put there, and they kind of say that we require a bachelor's degree, or although I don't think so, they kind of make sure they even ask you while during the interview, but on the same hand, they kind of make it mandatory. So if you see that and you have seen that the degree is kind of a mandatory pointer in the job descriptions everywhere on LinkedIn or any other website, please do make sure that you don't apply for those roles, because then you are going to get those auto-generated rejections and you won't even understand that what's the problem. So instead of that, maybe you can try I think, as everyone's saying, that maybe a small course or maybe some internships or something which can be a factor and which can replace that degree or something, and you can pass that screening and you can start getting interview calls, because otherwise if it's a mandatory thing, it's difficult to pass that, and you won't understand that why you are not getting those interview calls. This is Nikita. But yeah, for sure, you can get a job in tech without a degree. That's what this room is about, and that's what we feel, that you don't need it. You definitely need the right skills, and without a degree also you can get a job. This is Nikita and I'm speaking.
Wow, what a room. Thank you all so much for joining. Today we've been so blessed. People from IBM, we have Facebook, we have, Google, we have YouTube. They're all here. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. This is what we're discussing, helping people to get into tech, breaking into tech job without college degree. We really appreciate you. This is part one. On Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be discussing part two, where we will break down all of the skills that you need for different tech careers. So I really want to appreciate everyone, my students that are here, a lot of them, like half of the room. Thank you all so much. And I can see Sahil. Thank you so much for joining. And TY, all these are great. All these people are great moderators in their rooms. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope you can come more often to support us. Thank you so much, Karim, for your contribution. AZ is no more here. Roberts, all of you guys. Manny, thank you so much. Vivek, C2M, Anna, Nikita, Tutu, all of you. I really want to appreciate you. Please keep coming back here to support us. Let's us continue to keep big and give back to our community. That's our passion. Everyone in the audience, please follow the room, follow the moderators, follow me on my link tree. I have a tons of free resources for you if you're trying to get into tech. Until when we meet again next time on Sunday at 4 p.m., I wish you all the best. Keep safe and stay blessed. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Goodbye. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.